Okay, today we are going to see what is a shoulder complex. So what is a complex joint? Complex joint is nothing but that is a joint that is made by more than one joint. In shoulder complex there are lots of joints, like it is made up of sternoclavicular joint, then you have the acromioclavicular joint, then you have the glenohumeral joint, then you have the scapulothoracic joint. So all these joints together as a whole we will call as shoulder complex. Okay, so shoulder complex is having more than one type of joint. So in this we are going to see what is sternoclavicular joint. So from the figure you can see this is the structure of the shoulder complex, and here you can see this area, this portion. You can see the sternoclavicular joint, and that area you can see this nodes. This is the nodes of your manubrium, and this is the medial end of your clavicle, and this is your lateral end of your clavicle. So the medial end of your clavicle and that nodes provided by your manubrium, both this together forms your sternoclavicular joint. Okay, so you can see this is your sternoclavicular joint, and this is a part of your shoulder complex. Now I already told this shoulder complex is made up of many kinds of joints. So it is made up of 3 physiological joints as well as 1 functional joint. So what is the physiological joint? Because it has articulating surface, it has capsule, it has ligaments, and it has muscle supporting the joint. But functional joint is nothing but that is a joint that is only providing the function. It doesn't contain any true anatomical articulating surface, doesn't contain capsule or ligaments. So it is called as functional joint. So which are the physiological joint in your shoulder? That is your glenohumeral joint, acromioclavicular joint, then your scapulothoracic joint. So what is your functional joint here? The functional joint is your scapulothoracic joint, that is formed by your scapula and your thorax. Now we are going to see what is sternoclavicular joint. So from the figure you can see this is the medial end and this is the notch of your manubrium. This area will form the sternoclavicular joint, and this is a synovial type of joint, and it has a saddle type of articulating surface. So what is meant by saddle type? Saddle type is nothing but the articulating surface proximal and distal. In the proximal you will be having both concave and convex surface. In the distal also you will be having both concave and convex surface. Okay. So here you can see this is a saddle shape of joint. So what is the proximal articulating surface and what is the distal articulating surface? The proximal articulating surface is provided by your nodes. You can see this is your nodes of your manubrium. So it is provided by your nodes of your manubrium, and the distal articulating surface is provided by your medial end of your clavicle. So this is how the articulating surface is formed. Now I can already told you can see this articulating surface. It has saddle shape, means it has concave surface as well as convex surface. Here also you can see it has concave surface and it has convex surface. So this joint is called as saddle type of joint. Then what is called as incongruent joint? Why it is called as incongruent? Okay, so here you can see incongruent joint is nothing but a joint that doesn't have full contact with the other articulating surface. Congruent joint, the proximal articulating surface as well as the distal articulating surface will have full contact with each other. But here you can see the superior portion of your clavicle doesn't have the attachment with your nodes of the manubrium. So this joint is incongruent. So when a joint is incongruent, what are the difficulties you can face? When a joint is incongruent, the joint is very prone to get instable. So instability should be prevented by some of the structures around the joint. So what is it? Joint is incongruent joint. So some structures surrounding the joint should provide the stability. So the basic or primary stabilizing structure for the sternoclavicular joint is your sternoclavicular the disc. Okay. So what is the function of disc? The function of disc is to provide stability and it also provides the comprehensive towards your joint.